Alrighty, guys, so after a bunch of red days in a row, we're finally starting to cool off, at least as of now. It's currently about noon on the East Coast. The Russell and the Dow, they're barely down. They're pretty much at break even, as the Nasdaq and the S&P, they're barely up. So it's a mixed bag, but overall, I'd say it is a pretty flat, calm day. The VIX is down about 2%, so volatility is dying down. So let's break everything down, guys. We're going to break down the market, SPY, Triple Q, and of course, we got to break down some stocks. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your coffee. Do not forget to get your 13 stocks from Moomoo, each up to $2,000 with a $100 deposit. That's linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. Let's dive into the video. Let's not waste any time here on the intro. So let's see what's going on. Right now, again, it's a pretty flat day, which after a bunch of red days, this is actually kind of nice. And look at this. You guys can see, it's just been a complete bloodbath overall over the past couple of weeks. So we are now, with today's flat day, at least so far. I mean, we still have 4 hours left of trading. Anything could really happen. But as of now at noon, we are really holding above 395. We're pretty much holding above the lows from yesterday as well, which are right around 395. So we're solidifying this, at least in the very short term, as a level of support. Now, is this, is it time to start partying if you're a bull out there? I wouldn't say that necessarily yet, because we haven't really picked direction. It's not like we're consolidating and now we're starting to break out and we're having a huge green day with a ton of volume. We're still at a point where the bulls are vulnerable. I mean, this could easily dump and start going under 395, going under the lows from yesterday. So, in other words, we have to wait for direction at this point. If I pull up the 5-day chart, you'll be able to see it even better. This is just today's price action, and looking at the latter half of yesterday, this is simply consolidation. We're waiting for the next move. And you can see, we've held 395 like clockwork. So for that reason, on the downside, I still have my 395 mark is at or below alert. And now that I'm thinking about it, I might as well set one here on the upside. Mark is at or above, probably 402, which if you guys take a look here on this 5-day chart, it's zoomed in to today's and yesterday's price action. We're noticing, especially today, SPY's failed at about 402, 401 about twice. You can see it here after market hours yesterday being included in that. So if SPY starts ripping above 400, 402, 405 especially, okay, at that point, we might start getting a move maybe towards the moving averages, maybe some sort of relief rally, but we're not there yet. Again, the bulls are still very vulnerable at this point. So really, the $5 window we're in right now, little $5, $6, $7 window, 395 to 402. This is what I'm watching. What direction are we going to pick here on SPY in the short term? And Triple Q, it's the same thing, right? On the bottom, we have 295, which is pretty much held. Now we're above $300. So we're pretty much consolidating over the past couple of days, but we're not really picking a direction, a side in either direction. We're still flat. We're still consolidating. And I'd say, all right, if Triple Q starts breaking 310 maybe, that's where we could start getting a relief rally, a legitimate relief rally. But we're not anywhere near that. I just put my alert at 310. Maybe we do get near that soon. But as of now, we're at $302 a share, guys, and this is very vulnerable to fall under. If it takes the lows out from yesterday being about 298, we're only $4 away from that, not even. If that point breaks, 295 breaks, I'm telling you, we could be right there, for the next leg down. This could be going 285, followed by 270. I'm still looking at that very seriously here in the next couple of days. Maybe not this week, but definitely at some point next week, or who knows? It's still Wednesday. We have Thursday, Friday, and the latter half of Wednesday here. So anything could really happen. But overall, those are some thoughts, guys, from me on Triple Q and SPY from what I'm seeing so far today. If I can get my words out correctly, I'm mumbling and jumbling today, guys. So with that being said, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. A lot of you guys watch the videos, but you don't subscribe. You know who you are, and I know that because of the analytics. I look at the analytics, I think 55% of you are subscribed. The other 45 are not. So if that's you, make sure to subscribe. And let me get a sip of my coffee before we talk about the rest of these stocks that we got to get into, guys. So overall today, and now mind you, as I'm transitioning the video, all the indexes are green. So we're now going green. Russell's up 0.05%, SPY's up 0.2%, Nasdaq's up 0.3%, Dow's up almost 0.1%. So we're starting to go green, and a lot of stocks on my watch list here, funny enough, well, actually, there's more green than red, but there's also a lot of red stocks. Chewy's getting killed, CrowdStrike, AMC, GameStop. Those are not doing well today at all. But some that are doing well, Snapchat. Let's pull that up. Snapchat is up a little bit over 8% as I'm filming this video. It's up over $10 a share as of today. Actually, I think it closed above 10, or yeah, barely. And wow, why is it up so much? Did I miss something here? I probably missed something. Snap was at 870 pre-market. Now it's and it just hit 1160. Wait a second. That was a 30% move. Am I missing something here? Is that a short squeeze or something? What is going on here? Okay, yeah, there we go. We got some buy ratings from some companies, even though they lowered their price targets. I guess the price target is still above where it is now. So, I mean, the stock's going to run on that news. Anything else? Snapseed's pre-tax charges of $110 million to $175 million from job cuts. Okay. Anyway, guys, I don't want to go deeper into that, but overall, Snapchat is making a big move, 30% from the bottom to the top here intraday. And even though it's doing that, it's still on a downtrend very clearly. You can see my alerts at 13. I'm sticking very firm with that. If it doesn't break 13, which was the high from the middle of August, I think it's going to collapse again. It could easily start going back to the single digits easily. But if it breaks 13, we get momentum out of there. 16, 17 is where this could be going. So that's Snapchat, ticker symbol SNAP. We also have Meta, which is one of my favorite individual stock holdings right now, which I know that's pretty controversial, if you will, but I don't care. I think the value of Meta right now is pretty solid. I've been very open about that for months here on the YouTube channel, and it's been months now that I've owned Meta. It hasn't been a full year yet, but my history with Facebook, well, when it was Facebook, is I owned it. I sold out of it. This was like 3 years ago. I didn't own it for a good 2, maybe a little bit more than that years. And as it started to dump here after, earnings came out, the whole Apple debacle, which we're not going to get into in this video, as the company started to go through the transition phase, which it's still in right now. I mean, it's still in that, guys. I started buying in. The stock went from 330, 350 down to about 180, and I think I started buying at about, believe it or not, and you guys can laugh all you want, but I got the average down. Don't you worry. I nibbled a little bit, I think at about 240 on that initial drop, and I've just been buying ever since, very heavily under 200 as well. I mean, very heavily, which is how I got my average down. 150, 60, 70s. I bought a ton of shares there, and we're still in the 160s, guys, and I will be buying more if this does take the low out from June, which who knows? It might not. But I will be doing that. And, that low is at about 153. If that goes to 140, 145, I'll be buying more Meta. And my average cost right now in Meta, I think, is roughly 180 or maybe close to 185-ish, something like that. So if I were to buy more in the 140s, I'd love to get that average cost into the 160s. I mean, maybe lower than that eventually, but we'll see. No one knows what's going to happen in the future. All we can do is take it day by day and look at companies that we think will do well and that are undervalued for the long term and buy them. Or at least that's what I do with part of my portfolio. And of course, you guys know a lot of my portfolio is in VOO, which is an S&P 500 ETF. This is for more, diversification and to really have a base. I talk about this all the time. We're not going to get into this in this video, but it's kind of like the foundation of my long-term portfolio. I have VOO. I like one called VOT, which is a mid-cap growth. I have this for more of the smaller well, I guess it's mid-cap, right, obviously. What's another one I have? VXUS, because in my opinion, you got to show love to the international markets. This is one that I started buying pretty aggressively a couple of months ago, and I just continue dollar cost averaging into it bi-weekly, once a month, however often I freaking want to, guys. But overall, long term, I'm buying into these three very consistently: VXUS, VOT, and VOO. And you could do something like VTI. There's no shame in doing VTI. That's a good one as well. But the only thing I don't like about it is, sure, a lot of companies in VTI do business abroad, of course, but there's no direct exposure, I guess you can say, to international companies in VTI because it's the Vanguard Total U.S. Stock Market ETF. So for that reason, I don't own that. But I guess you could do. And you got to realize when you're looking at ETFs, you don't want to have a lot of overlap. So, for example, if you own VOO and VTI, that would be pretty stupid. But if you own VTI and VXUS, that's pretty good. That's a good idea. There's nothing wrong with that. If you own VOO and VXUS, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you own VOO, VTI, and SPY, I mean, there's just no reason to do that because they all have the S&P in them, and it's just too much overlap. So, either way, guys, I don't want to get too deep into that convo, but this is kind of what I'm looking at right now, these couple of stocks. And we have Netflix moving up today, PayPal. Chinese stocks are moving up, which I also own Alibaba. I've talked about that time and time again on the YouTube channel, and we'll see if it pays off. I mean, make sure to subscribe, guys, because I don't plan on stopping content anytime soon. So if you want to see how things turn out here and the follow-up videos, all that good stuff, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and do not forget to get your 13 stocks from Moomoo with a $100 deposit. Each of those could be up to $2,000. All that is linked down below. You could also get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. And just know all those links help out the channel, and I appreciate you all as always. And with that being said, cheers. I will catch you in the next video, guys. Peace out.